Hey there, and welcome to episode 64 of the Unapologetic Mompreneur podcast. Before we dive into today's episode, it is Black Friday week, and so I want to share with you my brand new offer for this Black Friday that is something that I get asked a lot. I'm going to offer up 3 spots, and so if you have been thinking about working with me and you are ready to go from surviving to thriving in your mompreneur journey, but you don't necessarily have the time to be tied to your laptop and sit on a bunch of Zoom calls week in, week out, Box and Go is for you. This is the 30-day or 90-day, totally up to you, voice notes coaching and accountability mentorship program for mompreneurs. If you are looking for high-touch accountability and support from a coach that is flexible to the needs of your busy schedule and gets what it's like as a mum trying to grow your business in the margins of the school day, that doesn't require you to be constantly tied to your laptop or Zoom, Box and Go is it. The 30-day, 90-day voice-based coaching container for ambitious mums in business who want clear goals, a flexible action plan, and real-time guidance and accountability whenever they need it most. No Zoom calls required. If you are ready to grow your business whilst balancing the demands of mum life, biz life, and everything in between, Box and Go is here to keep you on track, moving forward one message at a time. With 30 or 90 days of unlimited high-level voice and or text biz coaching and accountability, delivered via Voxer or WhatsApp, it is totally up to you. You can start right away as soon as you book your slot in November, or you can wait until January and secure your spot now, knowing that heading into the new year, you are set to go to kickstart your new year and set your business up for success in 2025. It is totally up to you whether you start now or January. After we have had an initial Zoom call to check in on where you are at and set your goals and devise a plan of action, you will have unlimited voice and or text support Monday to Friday during our time together, along with Monday and Friday accountability check-in chats where we can see what your goals are, set you up for the week, and then celebrate your wins and everything you've achieved every Friday. At the end of our time together, you will get a 45-minute wrap-up Zoom call where we can review where you are at and help you devise a plan of action going forward so that you can keep the momentum going after our time together. And so if this is something that you feel like might be for you, that you are wanting support and accountability on the go in your pocket so that you can jump on and ask a question while you are sitting there waiting for your kid to come out from school, Boxer and Go is it. You'll find the link to sign up in the show notes, but be super, super quick because I've only got 3 spots available so that I can give my time and dedication to you and really get to know you and your business. So if you are wanting one of those slots, go and snag it now because they are going to go fast. Like I said, you can choose between 30 days and 90 days. But here's the thing, go for the 90 days and you will get 1 month free. You will get 3 months of support from me for the price of 2. It's an absolute steal and I cannot wait to work with you on that. If you are interested, go and snag those spots now. Box and Go, you will find the link in the show notes. And with that out of the way, let's dive into today's episode. Welcome to the Unapologetic Mompreneur, the podcast for mums with an online business who are ready to take back their time, home, business and self so they can restore the balance and thrive, both at home and at work, without feeling like they have to choose between the two. I'm your host, Sarah Dew, life and biz coach for mompreneurs. I'm also a mum, stepmom, wife, introvert, breast cancer survivor, and your mentor for making a change for the better. I've learned how to go from surviving to thriving and unapologetically create a business I love and the life I want for me and my family without worrying about what other people think. And now I'm here to help you do the same. Because being an unapologetic mompreneur doesn't mean that we're selfish or that we don't care about others. It simply means that we are not afraid to show up as our true, authentic selves, to step into our purpose, do what we know is right for ourselves and the ones we love, and take the steps we need to take to make our dream life and business a reality. Join me each week where I'll be sharing all of my best tips and strategies, plus the occasional dose of tough but gentle love to help you feel empowered, motivated, and confident to take action so that you can become the mum, wife, biz owner, and woman you know you are meant and deserve to be. So, are you ready to unapologetically create a business and life you love? Let's do this. In today's episode, we are talking all about how to set yourself up for 2025 success, both at home and in your business. If you are ready to make this coming year the year that you go from surviving to thriving in your mompreneur journey and create the life that you want for you and your family, stick with me for the next 20 minutes or so, because I'm going to show you how to check in on where you are at, decide on what you want going forward over the coming months and what you want to achieve, and create that battle plan to help you make it happen so that come January, you are ready to hit the ground running and crush your goals. Make sure you are armed with a notebook and pen because you are going to want to write these steps down. Better still, I highly recommend using this episode as your 2025 strategy planning session. Listen to this episode once all the way through so that you know what I'm sharing, and then listen to it again. Take yourself off somewhere where you can concentrate, your favorite coffee shop, to the library, or wherever you want to go. Take yourself off away from all of the distractions, armed with your notebook, pen, and planner, and use this kind of like me being in your back pocket, helping you guide through to map out your strategy for 2025. Listen to each section, pausing it to complete each of the steps that I'm sharing before hitting playing again and carrying on and moving on to the next one. Do that, and within a couple of hours, you will walk away with your strategy for success in 2025. And if you do it before the end of the year is out, before the kids finish school, you will be able to enjoy Christmas and knowing that you have got your plan all set and ready to go for the new year, so that when they do go back, you don't have to spend time spinning in circles, figuring out what you're going to do. You're going to pull your plan out and you're going to be able to get straight to it. Trust me when I say that the strategies and the steps that I'm about to share with you are not only super powerful, but they are totally game-changing too. They're the exact same steps that I use at the end of every single term and the steps that I take my clients through to help them get super clear on what they want to achieve so that they can take the intentional, focused action and thrive both at home and at work without feeling like they have to choose between the two. So are you ready? You ready to pave the way for 2025 and go from surviving to thriving in your mompreneur journey? Let's do this. First up is to review where you are at. We need to take that helicopter view of where you are now to set that baseline of what is going on, what you are doing, where you are at, what you want to achieve, so that going forward, you can figure out what your plan of action is to get you to where you want to be. But before you do that, you have to know where you're at right now. And that's what the first step is going to be. That is what I always recommend anytime you are looking at figuring out a plan of action or wanting to know on looking at your goals, is to take that time to do and just see where you are at right now so that you have that baseline, so that you are super, super clear on where you are at, so that you can put that stake in the ground and figure out where you need to go next. And I have an exercise that will help you do that. It's what I call my reflect and reset exercise. So let's go through them one by one. And as I said, if you are now taking yourself off for that strategy session and you've listened to this once already, as I read each question out, hit that pause button and give yourself just a few moments to answer each one of these. Don't spend forever on them. You don't need to overthink this. It can just be a couple of sentences with each. You don't have to go super, super deep. It is literally just to give you the baseline. But the key to this is to be really, really honest, because the more honest you are about answering these questions, the better set you are going to be for going forward into the new year. Now, this reflect and reset exercise is in two parts. Part one, we are tackling all about your business and focusing solely on where you are at with your business. Part two is all about nurturing and checking in on where you are with your pillars. If you've been following me for any length of time, you know that part of my framework, part of my program, and everything that I teach is the 4 pillars to creating a business and life you love. And that when you focus on nurturing these 4 pillars and giving them the attention that they deserve, that is how you go from surviving to thriving in your mompreneur journey. Now, the 4 pillars are love your family, love your home, love your business, and love yourself. So in this first part, we're going to tackle that love your business pillar. And then in the second part, we're going to look at the remaining 3 pillars: love your family, love your home, and love yourself. which is the more personal side. But it's important when you are doing this review, this reflect and reset exercise, that you do this for all areas of your life, not just your business, because when you're making your goals going forward and you're paving the way for the coming year ahead and you are figuring out what you want to achieve, what matters to you, the direction you want to take, you need to take into consideration all of the other things that are going on in your life and where you are at with those right now. And that is what so many other business coaches miss out on when they are setting and looking at their business goals. They are focusing solely on the business and setting all of the things they want to achieve without taking into consideration all of the other things that are going on in our lives. But that is not going to be the case for you, because you know that I have this proven 4-pillar framework and that it works. And that's what we're going to use for this reflect and reset exercise. So part 1, let's dig into your business. Let's review and see where you are at right now with your business. And remember, the more honest you are right now with all of these, the better you're going to be for setting that stake in the ground for going forward. So question number 1 is, what went well this past year? What did you achieve that you set out to achieve? Celebrate those wins, jot them down. How did things go? What went well that you were proud of, big or small? It's important to celebrate those wins and get them down on paper so that we know and we can celebrate what we have accomplished. Because it is so easy just to keep moving from one task to the next, to keep adding things to our to-do list, to keep moving from one project to the next without actually stopping to pause and celebrate how far we have come. And when you look back over the year, you may feel like sometimes there were some frustrations that things may not have gone well, but actually guaranteed, I bet there are a ton of things that you have done that you are super, super proud of. And it is important to celebrate those wins. Not only does it make you feel accomplished, but knowing that you've achieved all of those things and that you are so much further forward than you were this time last year is a huge, huge confidence boost too. And so if you're not someone who normally celebrates their wins, I want you to do that this year. I want you to spend some time to hit pause on this and just make a list of all of the things that went really, really well, and then go do something to celebrate. If you are out sitting in Starbucks or wherever you go for your coffee and you are doing this, once you've finished, I want you to go off and do something to celebrate, whether it's treating yourself to something new, buying that handbag you've had your eye on, or going getting a new nice color of nail polish, or your favorite perfume, or just your favorite naughty treat. It doesn't matter what it is. Before you head home, go and do something and get something to celebrate those wins, because you deserve it. And if it isn't something that you do, I highly recommend that you make this, when you're doing your goals in a moment, something that you're going to do going forward in the year ahead, is to make sure that you celebrate your wins, big or small. One of my favorite ways that I love doing this, and I always get my clients to do, is to have a wins journal. Anytime you accomplish anything big or small, write it down in that journal. Because not only does that boost your confidence, but when you're having that tough time and you feel like that you can't, that you're not able to do something, or you're coming up to something you haven't done before and you're not really sure that you've got what it takes, you can make it happen. All that stuff and all of that doubt kicks in that you're going to be able to do it. Go back and read through that journal, because you'll be surprised at how much it pumps you up, reminds you all of the things that you have accomplished. And that if you've got that you could have done those, then guess what? You can do what you were about to do. So if you're not someone who usually celebrates your wins, make sure you go and start a wins journal. It is so, so powering. Okay, question number 2. What challenges have you faced this last year? And even this last term, what obstacles or challenges came up during the previous term or this last year? What was making it difficult for you to make progress in your business? What roadblocks were cropping up for you, both in your business and in personal life? Was time management an issue for you? Were there lots of family interruptions? Did you struggle with things like procrastination or shiny object syndrome? Or were there some limiting beliefs that kept cropping up? Or were you battling imposter syndrome, perfectionism, confidence? What were your challenges this year? Jot those down, because then if you can recognize them and you know that they were there, you can dig into why they were cropping up for you. And then you can start tackling what you can do going forward so that you can manage them. Remember, the more honest you are about these, the better positioned you're going to be to deal with them when they crop up again going forward. I know it can be hard sometimes to get that stuff down on paper, but be super, super honest. Nobody else has to see it. You can burn it again afterwards if you like. I often do that. If I'm putting stuff down and I want to be super honest, then I will get it all down. And actually, it's quite a relief to burn it afterwards. Obviously, not indoors. Go outside and put flame to paper and let it burn. And it's like a release. It kind of like lets all of it go so that you can clear the slate going forward. So, what challenges did you face over the last term and the last year? Get those down on paper. Question number 3 was, what did not go as planned? Was there anything that didn't go as planned as you wanted in your business? Did your goals take longer than you thought they were going to be? Did you not make as many sales as you wanted? Did you not get as many clients as you wanted? Did you have a launch that wasn't as successful as you would have liked? Again, be super honest with this. The more honest you are, the more it's going to help you going forward, because you can dig into the things that didn't go as planned and take a look and ask yourself why, and ask yourself if there's anything that you could do going forward to help you make sure that those things do go to plan and that you get a better result this time. Question number 4 is, what was your goal planning process like? Did you set realistic and achievable goals for the past term and for the past year? Or were you being a little bit too ambitious and putting a little bit too much pressure on yourself on what you could achieve? I know what it's like. Things take twice as long as we think that they're going to take. And that is okay. But have a look at your goal setting process so that going forward, you can be super realistic about what you want to accomplish and the time that it's going to take to do it, so that you're not setting yourself up for failure before you start. And if it all did go well, and as when you're looking at your goal setting process, that actually things mapped out well and you were pleased with that, celebrate that and use that model going forward as your framework, because you know it works. And then question number 5, is everything that you are doing in your business still aligned? Does it still feel aligned with you, with what you are wanting from it, the goals that you set yourself, everything that you are doing, the products, the services, everything else that you are offering? Does it all still feel aligned? Because if there's something there that doesn't, or that you don't want to do it anymore, it's okay to let it go. There is often that pressure that once we've started doing something, we have to keep going, but it's your business. You get to call the shots. So if you don't want to carry on doing it, you don't want to take it into 2025, guess what? You don't have to. Now is the time to free yourself from anything that doesn't feel aligned, so that you can pave the way and make room for things that do. One of my favorite ways of doing this is to put things to the unapologetic test. I've mentioned this a couple of times previously in previous episodes, and I've got an episode coming up soon where we dig into this process a whole lot deeper. But for now, just make a list of all of the offerings, the products, the services, the visibility strategies, the way you are showing up, what you are doing in your business, and ask yourself, does it feel aligned? Because if it doesn't, you don't have to do it, and now is the perfect time to let it go. So that's part 1 of this reflect and reset. Part 2 is about looking at the other 3 pillars, the love your family, love your home, and love yourself pillars. So just like we've gone through those questions there for the part 1 and reflecting and resetting on your business, do exactly the same for your 3 pillars, the remaining pillars. Love your family, love your home, love yourself. Take a look at everything within each of those pillars. How are things for yourself? Your self-care, making care of for yourself and filling your cup too. Is there anything you can do? How has that been over the last few months? Is it something that's been on the back burner and you're neglecting? Because if it is, it's something that you are going to want and need to make a priority going forward over the coming months. Take a look at everything going on with your family unit at the moment. Are you feeling connected? Are you nurturing that bond? Are there things that you can do together? What was the last few months like of spending quality time together? And what can you do going forward to stay more connected to your kids and your spouse? And then your home. What are things like at home at the moment? Your environment, your routines, the decor, the clutter, all of that stuff. You're not looking for answers right now. Remember, we're reviewing where we are at so that we can make a plan going forward. But how do you feel about your home right now? Is there anything you would like to do over the coming months to help you nurture that love your home pillar? So that's the first step, is the reflect and reset exercise. Part 1, focusing on your business, and part 2, focusing on your pillars to get that baseline of where you are at right now, to put that stake in the ground so that going forward, you can really truly think about what you want, to set your goals to help you get to where you want to be, so that you can go from surviving to thriving in your mompreneur journey this coming year. Next up, Before you start mapping out your goals and deciding what you want to accomplish over the coming months, I want you to figure out how much time you actually have. Because if you felt overwhelmed with accomplishing your goals this year, or you're finding that quarterly planning and 90-day years and all of that stuff isn't working for you as a mum trying to grow your business in the margins of the school day, it's probably because you haven't aligned your business with your child's school calendar yet. Because it's easy to think that, yes, there are 52 weeks in the year, but in reality, when we throw in school holidays and Christmas breaks and summer and half-term breaks and inset days and teacher training days and all of that stuff, we actually have so many less weeks than we actually think that we do to work on our goals. And if we are breaking our goals down to match those 52 weeks, thinking that we've got an entire year and 4 entire quarters, we're setting ourselves up for failure before we even start. So before you start thinking about what you want to accomplish over the year, just take a few moments to map out your year and actually see how much time you have. Now, you know, if you've been following me for any length of time, that you know I'm all about the term time roadmap of syncing your business with your child's academic year. So ditch the rule book of everything that you know about goal setting when it comes to quarterly planning and sync your business to match the terms of your child. So like me, if you are here in the UK, that is that autumn term, spring term, and the summer term. Break it down into the 3 terms. Write down that start date and end date of that term. Count how many weeks you have got. That is the number of weeks that you are going to work on your goals. Ask yourself how much time you have got. Get to grips on how many weeks you've got. Because if you do that before you set your goals, you'll be in a much better position to work out and be realistic about what you set yourself so that you're not overstretching, so that you don't get overwhelmed, and so that you're not rushing and trying to squeeze too much in the time that you don't have, and then feeling like a big fat failure when it comes to the end of the term and it's another school holiday. And if you want help doing this, go and get my term time roadmap workshop. You'll find the link for that in the show notes. But as a top tip, if you go and sign up for my free Unapologetic Mompreneur roadmap, once you've signed up for that, it will take you to a super secret page that will give you the opportunity to snag the term time workshop for just £12 instead of the regular $47. But if you want some extra help one-on-one with it, then go and book one of my power hours. And in just 60 minutes, I will help you map out your term time roadmap so that you will know exactly how many weeks you have got to work on your business each term and sync your business with your child's school calendar so that that fits effortlessly around the needs of your family and they're not rubbing up each other along the wrong way. Just spend some time. I promise you, you'll really thank yourself later if you map out now before picking your goals and diving into it and breaking them down to know how many weeks you have got to work on them. It really will make all of the difference. I know for me that when I first started diving into that, I was thinking that I had the 52 weeks to accomplish my goals. But then when I broke it down into terms, and then I broke it down into weeks of each term, I realized I had about 33 weeks to accomplish my goals over each year, and that every term was in sprints. That yes, Harrison may have a term that has got 12, 13 weeks, but there was a half term in the middle of that. And so I would get 6 weeks, then it would be another break, then it would be another 7 weeks, and then it's another 2 weeks off. Get to grips of what the number of weeks are that you have got, because when you are realistic about that and map it on paper, it's so much easier to pick the goals, know how long you've got to work, and break them down so they fit with those terms so that you don't feel overwhelmed. Okay, so now you know where you are at with everything. You put that stake in the ground, you've got that baseline, and you know what time you have going forward over the coming months to work on your business's goals and your life goals. It's time for you to be able to decide what you want going forward. What is it that's truly important to you right now, both in your business, but also the rest of your pillars? What do you want to achieve? What is truly important to you? Are you wanting to increase your client base? Have you got a product launch that you want to do? Have you got a bunch of digital products that you want to create? Is networking and growing your network a priority for you? Are you wanting to build more self-care into your day or make your weekends more intentional with your kids? What is important to you right now? Get clear on those things and set the goals to fit with them. What are your top 3 priorities for the next term heading into January? What are the big tasks that will move the needle forward in your business? Make sure that your next term is centered on those priorities so that you have got that clear crystal focus of what you are working on. And then once you've picked your goals, use that term time roadmap to break them down and give them the deadlines for the end of that term. Work out how many weeks you have got to be able to work on that goal. Give it that end date of the end of the term. And then make a note of when that half-term break is halfway through the term, and use that as your check-in point to help you make sure that you are still on track. What is your ideal midterm goal? What would be the milestone of the goal that you are setting that you can set for that half-term break, so that you know what you're working towards that first half of the term, but then also when you get to it, you can assess whether you are not on track, and then you can readjust if needs be, knowing that you are still on the right path. Do these 3 things and it really will set you up and help you pave the way for 2025 to success, and help you to make this coming year the year that you go from surviving to thriving in your mompreneur journey and create the life that you want for you and your family. Remember, like I said in the beginning, use this as an exercise to help you map out your strategy for 2025. Now you've listened to this, take yourself off to that cafe, lock yourself away, get yourself a large cup of coffee, notebook and pen, and map all of this out. Here they are again. Get that baseline. Use that review and reset exercise to help you see where you are at right now in your business and in the remaining of your 3 pillars: the love, your family, home, and self. Review where you are at right now, how the past year has gone, what worked for you, what didn't, what obstacles you were facing, and what you would like to focus on most or you feel has been neglected, so that you can put that stake in the ground and know what your priorities are going forward. Second was to map out your time. Dig out that school calendar and match your business to sync it with your child's academic year. Give yourself the same terms that your child has at school, and use those dates to work out the number of weeks you have available for you to work on your goals, so that when you are then setting them, you can be realistic about the time that you actually have and set the deadlines to match your kid finishing school with the end of term, so that you are not feeling rushed, stressed, or playing behind and constant catch up. And then once you've mapped out that roadmap and you know what your weeks are and how much time you have, decide what you want going forward. It's totally up to you whether you map out the whole year or you just look at this next coming up term. Break your goals down to fit those terms and use those end term dates as the deadline for working on accomplishing your goals, and use that half-term date where you identify that midterm goal milestone so that you can check in, know what you're aiming for, and know whether you are on the right path. You have got this. You can do this. I promise you that this strategy is super, super powerful. It will help you get that baseline to put the stake in the ground and get that helicopter view, but then also help you work out how much time you have got going forward, so that you can set goals that match the time that you have and be super clear on what you want to accomplish. I hope that this has been useful for you. If you want any help doing this, book a power hour with me, and in 60 minutes, we will go through this exact same process that I have just shared, and together we can review and reset. We can look at map out your term time roadmap so that you can see how much time you have, and we can check in on your goals of what you would like to accomplish going forward and break it down so that it fits the terms of your child, so that your business fits effortlessly around the needs of your family. And if you want the ongoing accountability with this, don't forget that you can also sign up for my either 30-day or 90-day Vox and Go, the container that is voice and or text notes coaching, so that you can do it on the go without being tied to, and get the accountability support you need without being tied to your laptop or constant Zoom calls. You'll find the link for both of those in the show notes. But if you've got any questions, I'm here for you. You can also send me a message over on Instagram. I would love to hear from you. But have fun with this. This will really help you set things up, close out your year, and pave your way for 2025 success. You've got this, and I look forward to chatting with you in the next episode. Bye for now. Thank you so much for joining me for another installment of the Unapologetic Mompreneur podcast. If you like what you heard, be sure to hit that subscribe button so that you never miss an episode. And if you have a moment, I would love for you to leave me a rating and a review so that other mompreneurs can find this podcast too. Here's to unapologetically becoming the mum, wife, biz owner, and woman you know you are meant and deserve to be. I can't wait to chat with you in the next episode. Bye for now.